There are men in this world who command attention without shouting, who inspire loyalty without asking, who move through life leaving a subtle but undeniable mark. The secret of such men is not in wealth, fame, or looks. It is in discipline and mastery over self. This is where true power lies, and for those who seek it, the Stoics left us timeless guidance. Rule 1: guard your inner world, speak less, observe more. The first rule of quiet power is control over your inner world. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled an empire while maintaining his mind as a sanctuary of clarity, wrote, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of good and evil.'" Here lies the first principle. Don't give your energy to what you cannot control. Most men react, lash out, or argue, believing that response equals strength. But the truly powerful understand that reaction is a form of surrender, a way to let others dictate your emotional state. We must observe first, understand second, and act third. Stoic researcher William Irvine highlights that restraint, silence, and reflection act like invisible armor. They do not demand attention, yet they command respect. By speaking less and observing more, we gain insight into the intentions and weaknesses of those around us, without anyone noticing. This quiet observation transforms us into a force that is unpredictable and therefore commanding. The world may push, provoke, or attempt to destabilize us, but we remain unmoved. The less we react, the more powerful we become. And in that stillness, others unconsciously gravitate toward us, drawn by the aura of calm authority. Rule 2: master your desires. Let discipline forge your strength. The second rule of quiet power is mastery over desires. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoics, wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." A man who allows fleeting desires, fleeting anger, or fleeting pleasures to rule him is a slave, no matter how he appears externally. True power comes from discipline. It is the ability to choose what to pursue and, more importantly, what to ignore. It is the silent practice of restraint in every aspect of life. Financial decisions, emotional investments, even the thoughts we entertain. By controlling what we allow to influence us, we preserve energy, sharpen focus, and cultivate a presence that is both magnetic and intimidating. Psychological studies support this ancient wisdom. Self-controlled individuals are perceived as more competent, more reliable, and more attractive. They do not need to boast. Their consistency and calm command attention. When we restrain our impulses, we gain clarity and strength, and with strength comes silent influence over others. We are not merely reacting to the world, we are shaping it from within. The disciplined mind is an unshakable fortress. It attracts respect because it radiates certainty, confidence, and self-possession, traits that no loud words or superficial displays of power can imitate. Rule 3: let your actions speak. Never explain yourself. The third rule of quiet Stoic power is deceptively simple, yet profoundly difficult to practice. Let your actions speak and never feel compelled to explain them. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher who rose from slavery to intellectual freedom, often reminded his students, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Here he was not merely speaking of endurance, he was illustrating the art of silent authority. Most men feel the constant urge to justify themselves. When criticized, they argue. When misunderstood, they explain. When challenged, they defend. In their desperation to be recognized, they scatter their energy and dilute their power. But the truly strong understand that words are fleeting, actions are permanent. A disciplined man allows his life to be the testament of his principles. Others notice not because he demands it, but because the weight of his conduct cannot be ignored. Consider the subtlety of this power. A man who refuses to chase approval, a man who does not broadcast his victories, becomes magnetic. People instinctively respect someone who does not need validation, who does not bow to the whims of gossip, who moves with silent confidence. This is not arrogance, it is a manifestation of mastery over self, a key theme repeated across Stoic thought. Seneca wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." By not reacting to the superficial judgments of others, we conserve our mental strength for the battles that truly matter. The world will always misinterpret us. There will be envy, suspicion, and misunderstanding, and that is precisely the point. We cannot control perception, only action. Our power lies in how we conduct ourselves in spite of it. By living intentionally and silently, demonstrating integrity, competence, and restraint, we cultivate an aura that draws others toward us, whether they recognize the reason or not. Even subtle gestures, a calm demeanor in a heated argument, measured speech in a chaotic meeting, or consistent discipline in private pursuits, communicate volumes. They show people that we are unshakable, reliable, and composed. The quiet authority that emerges is far stronger than words could ever convey. In practice, this means we must focus relentlessly on what we can control: our thoughts, our choices, and our behaviors. The Stoics remind us that external validation is fleeting, but the strength of character is eternal. Every choice made with purpose, every action executed with restraint, builds a reputation of quiet dominance. Others sense it instinctively, and it is impossible to ignore. This rule also protects us from the emotional exhaustion that comes from constantly defending ourselves. By refraining from unnecessary explanations, we guard our energy and preserve clarity. We act in alignment with our principles, and in doing so, we create an unassailable presence, a magnetic force that commands attention without uttering a word. In essence, this third rule ties together the first two. Control your inner world, master your desires, and then let your actions tell the story. Silent discipline is louder than any shout. Observation and restraint are more impactful than constant reaction. Power, attraction, and respect are cultivated quietly through consistency, composure, and deliberate conduct. The men who walk through life with this mindset are rare. They are unbothered by petty criticism, untempted by fleeting desires, and unwavering in their principles. Yet, they are impossible to ignore. The world feels their presence before it even understands why. This is the secret of true Stoic power. It is quiet, it is deliberate, and it is unstoppable. Rule 4. Master your emotions. Detachment is your ultimate weapon. The fourth rule of silent Stoic power is both brutal and liberating. Master your emotions, for detachment is your ultimate weapon. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher who ruled an empire while wrestling with the weight of humanity, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Here lies the essence of unshakable influence. A man who governs his inner world is untouchable in the chaos of the outer world. Most people live as prisoners of their emotions. Anger erupts without warning, envy simmers quietly, and fear dictates every decision. Their reactions are loud, impulsive, and destructive. They reveal their weaknesses to the world and surrender their power to circumstances. The strong man, however, does not allow himself to be ruled by transient feelings. He observes them, understands them, and then decides deliberately whether they deserve expression. This is not emotional suppression, it is emotional mastery. Stoicism teaches that emotions in themselves are not enemies, but unexamined impulses are. When we respond with thoughtless intensity, we betray our principles and dilute our power. By detaching from immediate emotional reactions, we gain clarity, perspective, and control. Epictetus warned, "Men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of them." By controlling our perception, we control our reactions, and in doing so, we project a presence that is magnetic and unassailable. The man who masters his emotions becomes enigmatic to the world. He smiles in the storm, remains calm in the face of provocation, and acts with precision where others act out of panic. This quiet composure forces others to respect him, often without their realizing why. People are drawn to stability, to strength that does not demand validation, and to clarity that cuts through chaos. Emotional detachment is not coldness. It is the ultimate expression of inner freedom. Practically, mastering emotions requires discipline in thought and action. We must recognize triggers, analyze our impulses, and respond with reason rather than instinct. Journaling, reflection, and mindful meditation, all practices recommended by Stoics like Seneca, allow us to observe patterns in our reactions and gradually reprogram our responses. Each instance of restraint strengthens the mind and builds a reservoir of composure that others perceive as quiet authority. Detachment also protects us from manipulation. The world is full of those who seek to exploit weakness, provoke anger, or bait emotional reactions. The man who is emotionally sovereign cannot be manipulated because he responds from principle, not impulse. Others may yell, pressure, or provoke, but he remains immovable. This is the weapon of true influence. A man who commands the room without speaking, who shapes outcomes by maintaining calm, and whose energy cannot be stolen by petty dramas. Ultimately, emotional mastery elevates every other aspect of Stoic power. Decisions become sharper, relationships more purposeful, and presence more magnetic. When we control ourselves, the world bends subtly around us, not because we demand it, but because our composure forces recognition. The silent Stoic moves through life unshaken, undistracted, and impossible to control. His strength is not in loud declarations or superficial displays, but in the calm certainty of a mind that has mastered itself. Those who chase him may never understand why he captivates them, but the effect is undeniable. Power, respect, and attraction are born not from words, but from the mastery of what cannot be seen, the inner life.